We're gonna get right into it. Everything's good. All right, let me see some. Okay. Go make out for me. All right, hold on. Oh, turn that, yep. Take it out. Okay. All right, hold on for a minute. All right, we're gonna give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh by Shema Bashar, double honor to the apostle, brother, Elder Millstone. Shout out to the hope. We're gonna get right to the video. It will surely come.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Wave your hand over a computer code scanner at the grocery store checkout counter and your bill is deducted from your checking account. The technology to accomplish this feat is already here.
One idea is to put the microchip in your hand instead of using a credit card. And all you have to do is run your hand over a scanner and they know your ID number.
A microchip about the size of a grain of rice implanted into their skin. The technology is used to replace credit cards and cash.
All money is to be in those stations, right? There'll be no more cash. You won't be able to live without it. All your money is going to be in that chip. It's going to be a cashless society.
The system eventually is going to be developed in such a way that you have to be within the system to conduct any business. If you're outside of that electronic system, you are locked out of everything.
You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do,
Everything is in there, you know? And so they want a one world government controlled by them, everybody being shipped, all your money in the chips, and they control.
I'm talking about a cartel that wants to put a chip in our hands that will give them complete central control.
This is the mark of the beast.
All right, RFID, as you may know, is now converging with payment devices. We've got a couple 100 million RFID-enabled credit cards that have already been issued around the globe. What this means is that payment stations, what the industry calls POS or point-of-sale terminals, what we would call a cash register, are now being equipped all over the globe with the ability to, if someone were to choose to do this, to pay with simply a wave of your hand or just pressing your hand to the reader device. The technology is the same. The RFID chip in a credit card is essentially the same device that you can put into your right hand, and I believe Emil Grafstra is going to be talking to us about having a chip in his hand. So the infrastructure is being built in order to do this. When I say it's the same technology, it operates on a slightly different frequency. There's a couple of technical things that would need to be tweaked in order to retrofit this to accommodate an implantable microchip. It could certainly be done.
In our discussion on the smart card, we noted that all of the power in that card is contained in a small computer microchip, which is basically glued to the card. Essentially, then, this means that the embossed name on the card and any pictures it may have are meaningless. All of the relevant data is contained in the chip. The card is little more than a handy carrying case. The question that arises is this: if you could take that chip from off the card and implant it under the skin, would you not have the perfect smart biometric identification system? Given the fact that chips could be made to shut down the minute they were removed from living tissue, it would be an almost foolproof system. Suddenly, the need for expensive hand scan machines or fingerprint readers would be alleviated. Retailers could be sure the chip you had was yours because the chip would be under your skin.
So taking a look at this technology now, and you say you have the guy with his smart card here, but you want his fingerprint there, but all the information's in the smart card, and all the expense is in the machine to read the finger. What if you took the chip out of that card and implanted it under the skin? Living tissue. The minute anybody tried to tamper it with it, it would be destroyed and it wouldn't work. You now have the scanner that can read the smart card, the same kind of technology that scanners can read the universal product codes on a product in your grocery store now, could read that. So there's not an expensive technology, and this was the only important part in the card anyway, so you've just thrown away a piece of plastic. You now have the system that makes perfect logical sense with the technology that is there. We have talked to the bankers. We've talked to the smart card developers. We have talked to, if you think of David Chom, who we talked to, who's in charge of setting up the cashless system, conditional access for Europe system, which will be a cashless system to run a test within the next 2 years. And we have heard that all of their motivation is there. So we know that that is factual. This is not something that we're telling you. These are the actual people talking. We have shown you how the system works. We've shown you clips of the animals being inserted. We've shown you the hand scan machines and the finger scan machines. And we've now shown you the chips in the injector. This thing is really, really possible right now.
It's happening now, so it's present and the future. Because this is definitely next step in technology.
All right, let's get right to the scripture. Let's go to come on, man, come on, what is that? Yes, go to. No, I don't want to come. Yeah, Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved? And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon a table, that he may run that read it. For the vision yet for an appointed time, but the end it shall speak and not lie. Thou it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, right? It will not tarry. It will surely come. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision yet for an appointed time, but the end it shall speak and not lie. Thou it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, right? Let's go to Luke chapter 12, verse 56. You hypocrite, you can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is that you do not discern this time, right? Do not discern this time, right? You can discern the face of the sky, but you do not discern the signs do not discern this time. Luke 12, verse 56. You hypocrite, you can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how it that you do not discern this time, right? This time. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. Time? Okay. Yeah. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1, it said, but at the time and season, brother, I have no need that I write unto you. For yourself know perfect the day of the Lord, so come as a thief in the night, right? As a thief in the night. Let's just say peace and safety. Sudden destruction come upon them, tread upon the woman with child, and they shall not escape, right? They shall not escape. He said, but you, brother, you are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. You are the children of the light and the children of the day. We are not the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Right? Let us watch and be sober. For there is sleep in the night, and that be drunk are drunk in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, put on the breastplate of faith and of love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation, right? The hope of salvation. Verse Thessalonians 5, verse 2. For yourself know perfect the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. For it should say peace and safety. Then sudden destruction come upon them, as tread upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right, they shall not escape. But you, brother, you are not in darkness, that they shall overtake you as a thief. You are the children of the light, and the children of the day. We are not of night, nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Right, let us watch and be sober. Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. It said, blessed he that readeth, and hear the word of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Right, for the time is at hand. Let's go to Revelation 13, verse 14. And he seeth them which dwell on the earth by means of their miracles, which have power to do in the sight of the beast, say to them that dwell on the earth that they shall make an image of the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live. He had power to give life unto the image of the beast. The image of the beast shall both speak and call all that as many would not worship the beast, the image of the beast. The image of the beast shall be killed. And he called all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, as no man might buy or sell, and that no man might buy or sell. He that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Verse 18, he said, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. For it's the number of a man, and his number is 603 scholars and 6. Wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. For it's the number of a man, and his number is 603 scholars and 6. Right here is wisdom. Revelation 14, verse 9. It say, and the third angel followed them, and say, with a loud voice, any man worship the beast, and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. The same should drink the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out with mixture into the cup of his indignation. He should be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angel and in the 9. It said the third angel followed them. It said the third angel followed them, say with a loud voice, any man worship the beast, his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. The same should drink the wrath of the drink the wine of the wrath. The same should drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which poured out without mixture unto the cup of his indignation. He should be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angel and the presence of the Lamb. Right, presence of the Lamb. Let's move on. Revelation 22. Revelation 22, verse 10, it say, let's go to verse 7. It said, behold, I come quick. Blessed is he that keep the saying of this prophecy of this book. And John said those things, and here, and when I had heard and seen, I fall down to worship before the foot of the angel which showed me those things. Then he said unto me, say that do it not, for I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brother, the prophet, and of them which keep the saying of this book, worship the Most High. And he said unto me, see not the saying of this prophet of this book, for the time is at hand. Right, for the time is at hand. So I'm going to close out right there, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Rashah, Double honor to the apostle, brother, elder, great millstone. Shout out to the hope. Shalom.